Let's see if Lost Ark, let's watch this video about pay-to-win, and then we'll look at the 13 huge mistakes, and we'll see how many of them I've already made.
Pay-to-win games. We all hate them, rightfully so, but are we okay with pay for convenience? Hey there friends, it's Kodiak here. Welcome back to Legacy Gaming. Today, we're breaking down one of the most divisive topics surrounding Lost Ark. Is it pay-to-win?
We'll see what he says.
My plan was to not put out this video, but comment section after comment section reminds me that this is a topic that's on top of everyone's mind. And when Lost Ark does come out, and hundreds of thousands of people check out the game, a new wave of folks will start looking it up and wondering, is the game pay-to-win? We've talked about this a bit in other videos, but at this point, we'd be doing the entire community a disservice by not talking about this topic in its own video. And to be honest, it doesn't even need to be a super long video. Bottom line, Lost Ark has numerous pay-for-convenience features. There's no beating around that bush.
You know it, I know it.
First up, we have to understand the various currencies within the game. At the bottom of the list, we have silver, something every player will have access to simply by playing the game.
Silver.
Completing quests is the primary way to get silver, but engaging in some of the other endgame activities, whether it be vertical or horizontal content, will also most likely net you some silver. Silver is abundant, and something most players won't think twice about, especially at Tier 1, the content being shipped at launch in the NA/EU. Now, one step up that ladder is gold, and this is still an in-game currency, but a bit more exclusive. Gold is used primarily as a way to interact with the auction house, a means to an end when it comes to moving goods between players. As we progress further into the expanded world of Lost Ark, gaining access to new tiers, gold will become even more valuable, as it'll be used to upgrade our gear via the honing system, as well as repair our higher tier life skill tools.
Oh, wow.
It's a valuable
I didn't know you had to do that.
Arguably one of the most precious in the game, and the primary way to get it is just by playing the game.
And you can't have people trade it to you, which is the worst thing. A lot of people talk about the way that different types of games are like either pay to win or pay for convenience, etc. The problem with pay for convenience, and the reason why sometimes it can suck, is that whenever you have pay for convenience in a game, you can trade gold. Oh, okay. Somebody said that you couldn't. Okay, all right, whatever. So the problem with pay for convenience in games is that they then create a financial incentive for developers to make it inconvenient to not pay. And that's probably the worst thing about pay for convenience features. And it really depends, and this is why I'm going to play through the game and see what happens, because I want to see what it's really like, if it's actually that bad or not. Yeah, Path of Exile. Well, the thing is, like, every game, in my opinion, the business model of the game is what determines how okay I am with different features. So Path of Exile has pay for convenience with stash tabs, for example. This game has pay for convenience with a lot of things, for example. Let's see. What are other games that have pay for convenience? Those are the two. I mean, like leveling boosts, right? In WoW or Final Fantasy, story skips. So all of these things are all pay for convenience features. However, some games that are free to play, the way that I look at a free to play game, I'm more okay with that stuff because it's part of the business model. Like, you're not paying anything to the game. You can play the game for free. So like for pay to win game, or sorry, not pay to win, free to play games, same thing, right? I'm much more okay with that stuff.
Definitely a good thing in the context of this conversation. Certain quests, dungeons, and of course, if you master the auction house, will net you gold, and it'll start rolling in at a fast clip. Gold has been the source of some issues on the Korean server, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. Now here's where things start to get tricky.
Here we go.
Crystals. This is technically a premium currency you can purchase from the in-game store. At least you could during the open beta. I doubt that's going to change, so I'm going to assume that's still the case come launch. Crystals can be spent to purchase a number of things, like Phoenix Plumes, also known as Resurrection Feathers. They can also...
we had those in BDO. There were like tiers, right? And if you used the tier, you didn't lose experience on death or some bullshit? Yeah, I remember that fucking oh my god, that was so dumb.
To be used to purchase instant complete Una's task tickets. They can also be used to purchase a 30-day premium currency called the Crystalline Aura. This is really where our conversation about pay to win and pay for convenience begins to take shape. Money buys crystals, crystals buys benefits, things that make your life easier within the game. That's the very definition of pay for convenience, but according to the developers, crystals will also be earned by playing the game. The real issue here at this point ahead of launch is that we don't know how to get crystals within the game. On the Russian servers, they give away a ton of items through login rewards and bonus events, but will that be the case on the NA/EU servers at launch? It's hard to say, but my money is on yes. If that's the case, then that still creates an issue because you can't control the method of getting crystals. It's dictated by simply logging in and waiting for that reward to come up.
Yeah, it's basically, what's the word for it? It is rationed out to you. So they control how many you have, so they can always make it to where, yeah, it's rationed out, it's time-gated, whatever you want to call it.
No better than a battle pass in that sense. The real sticking point will be if we can log in and partake in some activity somewhere in the world of Arcasia to let us build up our crystal reserves on our own. You may be of the mindset that it doesn't really matter. A couple crystals and a few perks don't really make the game pay to win. But here's where things get a bit weird.
Here we go.
Mari's Secret Shop. This is a rotating collection of items that can be purchased as part of the store for crystals. Items include things like leap stones and fragments, as well as other items that you'll need to upgrade your gear, giving you access to more challenging content. Can you get these items by playing the game? Yes, but they're the main progression choke point, so simply put...
But you can only get those, I'm sure, I think this is one of the ones you can only get certain amount of these a day, and then you want to play alts.
You can pay for convenience. Keep in mind, Mari's shop also plays an important role in regulating a server's economy. A whale can swoop in, spend a ton of cash, and disrupt the auction house entirely, specifically in regards to upgrade items. Well, now players have an avenue outside of earning the items in-game to purchase upgrade materials at a regulated price. It may not sway your opinion on the items being there in the first place, but there is a purpose behind its existence.
Okay.
The final currency, Royal Crystals, is the only currency that will be exclusively gained by paying real-world money.
Okay.
Across the board, Royal Crystals are used for cosmetic items and things like...
Okay, so is there anything that you can buy with Royal Crystals besides the aura? Well, I think you can buy the aura with gold, too, or something that gives you an advantage.
But they're also used to buy crystals, which we just established can be used to buy upgrade materials. I don't think you can really make the argument that pay for convenience isn't in this game. It was present right from the jump with the open beta,
it is.
But you can make the argument that it really doesn't matter.
Holy
What are the real reasons why pay to open beta? But you can make the argument that it...
That's really fucking cool. God damn. Wow, that is so badass. Holy fuck, that's cool. Wow. We're gonna need to get some sponsors, guys, to afford these armor sets. That's a really cool looking set. Holy shit. Yeah, Firelands Andy, hey.
Really doesn't matter.
One
of the real reasons why pay to win is such an issue in games like this
they just traded
down to PvP.
That makes it easier.
In Lost Ark, your gear in PvP is equalized. At least that's how it is on the Korean servers. There were some patch issues on the Russian side of things that made gear a factor for a while, but there's no reason to believe that things would go backwards for the NA-EU patch. Never say never, but equalized stats mean a fair playing field, thus totally negating any idea that you're paying for an edge. On the PvE front, yes, things look a bit different. If you can pay for upgrade materials, it means you're going to have access to additional pieces of content
you get gear faster
sooner rather than later, and it overall cuts down on how much you have to grind.
Of
course.
It
begs the question, does that really matter? Will someone paying be further along than someone not paying?
Yes.
Possibly, but at the end of the day,
100%.
that advantage is pretty minuscule. If you combine all of the benefits that you can pay for that we know of in the NA-EU, including the crystalline aura, upgrade materials, maybe some Una's task tickets, yes, you're going to save yourself time, and time is money in MMOs. A player spending that money will have more time to do other things because they cut corners, but the player that didn't spend the money can still do those same things.
Well, the thing is, like, the way it always goes is... if somebody pays money and they're playing the game, they're going to be farther along than somebody who doesn't pay money and they're playing the game. Are there ways that you can, outplay whales if they don't really play a lot and they just basically spend a lot of money on the game and that's all they do? Yeah, of course. But, like, given an equal amount of time invested into the game, equal skill levels, etc., the person who's paying real money has an advantage. So, like, obviously these two things, like money spent and time invested and, like, skill as well, like these three spectrums exist and they counterbalance each other. So it's not like an A or B situation. You guys see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Take a beat longer. To be completely honest, the pay to win and pay for convenience conversation often boils down to your own viewpoint. There are hard facts, things we can't argue. In this case, yes. You can pay real money for a special currency called Royal Crystals. But on the other hand, how you choose to feel about what you can use them on is a spectrum. One that seems to go from apathy, someone that doesn't care and never will, to the folks that like to blow up our comments with outrage and ignorance. I definitely understand the issue. Monetization in games has continued to be a growing issue. With the global conversation currently dealing with NFTs in games, it makes sense that the lines are starting to blur.
Yeah, it definitely is. And the thing is, like, a lot of people who are outraged ignorance, well, there are a lot of people who are like, any type of convenience feature at all, even in a free-to-play game, is unacceptable and should be illegal. Like, there's a lot of people who genuinely think that way. And obviously, I'm not saying everyone. I'm not saying this is a big opinion that most people have. Absolutely not. But it's just simply something that many people do think, and it is kind of, it's kind of intense, for sure. And yeah, that's all I'm really trying to get at. And the NFT stuff is, in my opinion, it's a different thing, but there is like a lot of inroads into pay-to-win for that, for sure.
What I'll say is this: Smilegate, the developers of Lost Ark, and Amazon Game Studios, the publishers, are working together to make Lost Ark more palatable in the West. They've outlined their philosophy on the website in a lengthy blog post, and the company behind the game, again, Smilegate, not Amazon, want to make sure that's clear, has a proven track record of changing the game even if they lose profits. In an almost famous moment for the game, the company addressed the gold issue plaguing the Korean servers, something that's been going on since March 2021. The TLDR is that crystals could be purchased with gold, and that was causing issues based on a number of factors. The major change was taking crystals out of the equation to help fix one aspect of that issue. The real shocking part was that the director admits the change would cost the company 17% of their total sales figures, a huge admission, and a decision most companies wouldn't make.
That's fucking huge. That's such a huge amount. And the thing is, like, it's 17%, and you have to think about that in the context that that's not the only microtransaction they're selling. So that's only one type of microtransaction. And just that microtransaction by itself is 17% based. Well, yeah, because, like, here's the thing, is that it doesn't matter if you're making 17% more money if everybody quits your game. You see what I'm saying? And also, like, a lot of these guys, they're probably really well off. Like, they're making, you know, probably over $100,000 a year at least. And I'm sure, like, a lot of the guys that are in charge are millionaires, multi-millionaires. Like, they don't need to, like, it's no longer about money. I mean, for some people, it's never not about money. But to a certain extent, for many people, it's also about creating a legacy of good content that people can look at and you can be proud of. And that does become more important the more money you have. Tell that to Bobby. That's the example, you know, like, that's definitely what happens. Absolutely.
Missing profit for community perception. One incident in a vacuum doesn't hold much water, but it is important to remember when companies do things right, as it helps build trust and confidence that they'll continue to do the right thing in the future. Just something to keep in mind. I told you guys I didn't want to make this video super long. It doesn't need to be. And as of late, our content has been getting a bit beefy, so it's time to dial it back and go straight to the jugular.
Sounds like my YouTube channel.
Lost Ark has various pay-for-convenience features, things that some players will find cross some imaginary line, while others completely ignore. PvP is entirely disassociated from
I think this video, the guy, he says that it's not pay-to-win. Sorry, my camera's covering it, but it says Lost Ark is not a pay-to-win game, but there are various opportunities to pay for convenience. I feel like if you can ever pay real money to accelerate power gains, that's pay-to-win. It's literally that simple. If you can pay real money to accelerate power gains or the acquisition of those power gains, it's pay-to-win. Because what is winning? Winning is power. You are paying for power. You're paying to win. It's logic. That's the logical conclusion to me. And you know what else is pay to win? Before some, oh, but what about WoW? True. And that's, to me, it's pay to win, but lesser. Yeah, it's not like Omega pay to win, but it does have elements of pay to win in it. And I think to say otherwise is disingenuous.
Issue and PvE is always going to come down to skill. So who's really gaining the benefits from having a lot of cash? The game is far from pay to win. I think we should reserve our witch hunt for the next terrible mobile game a AAA developer.
It just fucking puts Diablo Immortal on the screen, man. I think we should reserve it for the next terrible mobile game. Like, I actually am not in the camp that Diablo Immortal is going to be terrible. Like, I think it could be a fun game. It unironically could be a fun game. Pay to win in what? What are you winning if the competitive PvP mode isn't pay to win? I don't care about competitive PvP. It doesn't matter to me. Who cares?
developer tries to force feed us, but there are ways to cut corners if you so choose. Of course, this is an MMO. Things evolve, things change. And
that
over
dungeon
here in
was
North
so
America
good,
and
man.
Europe, we're about to take our first bite of content. Things are going to be different 2, 3, 4, and maybe even 5 years from now, so keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the decision is up to you, and after hundreds of hours with the game across the beta, PTR, and Russian servers, I have still not opened up my wallet, not once, to pay for a single thing, and I'm still just as in love with the game as I was the first time I fired it up. Hopefully this helps at least clarify some of the issues swirling around the community, but I'd love to know your thoughts. If you have something constructive that you want to add to the conversation, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below, and of course don't forget Legacy Gaming is going to have a huge presence within the game. Our Discord community is now well over 2,000 members just in there for Lost Ark, so if you want to be part of one of the largest NA East guilds, all you have to do is click on the link in the description and join us on Discord. If you've been following along with our
So I want to say, like, real quick before... Actually, I'll let the video
start coverage, then you already know we've got a whole lineup of content ready to go for launch. We have been chipping away at the NA EU PTR, trying to get videos ready for you all. So if you appreciate that work, we'd appreciate your support. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more Lost Ark videos in your feed. Finally, if you guys like everything we're doing here on the channel and you want to support Legacy Gaming even more, you can do so by becoming a member. For just a couple bucks, you're helping us achieve our dreams of making YouTube a full-time passion. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.
I feel like these videos are really well edited and really well put together. I agree with your opinion on Pay-to-Win. This guy did not mention is you can buy very little upgrade mats from the shop and it's time gated. Yeah, but like what I mean to say is that I know some people have the idea that, well, if it doesn't affect other players, then, you know, it doesn't matter. In my opinion, I think that if you can have any power difference between another player, then that is pay to win, period. Like, that's it. Because I think that a lot of people view winning as being ahead of the curve and as having things that other people don't have. And the idea of exclusivity and the idea of having those types of, you know, powerful items that other people can't get to for whatever reason, because they're not good enough or because they, you know, they don't spend enough time, etc. That is the essence of, what motivates people to play. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I really, really don't. I think it's a very good thing in a lot of ways. And that's why I think that. That's why I feel that way. Okay, let's watch this video. And wrong man, time invest is pay to win too. Time invested is pay to win too. Yeah, and you can make that argument, right? And you can say, like, well, you know, somebody who has 18 hours a day to play the game has an advantage that I don't have, and so why can't I use the advantage that I have with having money and pay to be on the same level as them? And, like, that's fine, right? You can think that, but it's the same thing as... Like, I think that people don't want to be in a world where other people can buy advantages over them. And I think one of the reasons why gaming in general, especially like immersion gaming, like MMOs, RPGs, that type of stuff is so popular is because it provides the escapism. What does it provide escapism from? I think a big thing that it provides escapism from is escapism from a world that is defined by resources, a world that is defined by nepotism, a world that is defined by unfair advantages, by things that you can't own, things that you don't have, people that start 3 steps ahead of you and they don't even realize it. So the fact is that gaming, I think for a lot of people, one of the appeals to it is the fact that it is a great equalizer. The fact that whenever you log into World of Warcraft and Vanilla WoW back in 2006, you are the exact same as somebody else who logs in at the same time. And the only thing that separates you and him is how good you are at the game and your investment of time. And that's why people push back on this stuff so much, and that's why people are frustrated about it so much, is because that integrity is being diminished whenever you have things that are pay for convenience, or you have other things that muddy the waters between the people who work hard and are good at the game and the people who don't, whether that's something that's cosmetic, whether that's an individual player power, and especially whether that's something that you can use against other players. So I think there's a very psychological reason to that, and I think also it dovetails into the reason why people don't like NFTs in gaming and why they're pushing back so hard against it. Because basically, what are NFTs in gaming? It's legalized sweatshop work for people playing video games as disguised as pay to earn. If you look at the arguments for adding NFTs to games, some of the arguments are that that people are in third world countries and it's harder for them to make as much money. These are the exact same arguments that large companies use to justify sweatshops in third world countries. It's literally the exact same thing. So whenever you see this stuff, it's not the first time. And you see people that have large amounts of money, and you have people that have massive amounts of resources, and they use that to lord it over other people, and it does upset a lot of people. If you guys remember, for example, this is the last example, I know we're talking about this a lot, but it's something that I think about a lot, is that, do you remember back whenever the guy who was like a stock trader or whatever bought that mace, Echoing Fury, for $30,000 in Diablo 3? Does anybody that's as much of a loser as me remember this? Yes, you do. Okay, so anyway, whenever that happened, the guy went in and he dueled somebody else and he lost the duel. Everybody was so happy about that. Why is that? Well, number one, the guy was a jackass, and number two, they don't want that level of pay to win in a game. It was not Martin Shkreli. No, that was the guy that bought the fucking Bone Thugs and Harmony CD. That was a little bit different, right? So yeah, he lost it, and everybody was so fucking happy that happened. Just desserts, yeah. And that was Wu-Tang? Oh, right. Okay, Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, yes, right. Okay. I forgot. It's been 3 years ago, 4 years ago since that happened. I think the guy's still in jail, actually. So yeah, Bone Thugs are fucking faded. I don't fucking remember that. It was a long time ago. Anyway, point is that people don't like seeing other like guys with a lot of resources just go in and wail around and throw their weight around and have advantages that they don't have access to. It's that simple. And I think that why is that? Again, gaming is an escape for a lot of people from the unfairities of the world. And whether you want to say that, oh, well, it's unfair that they have more time than me, to a certain extent, you're right. And you know what else is unfair? The fact that, you know what I think? I think that every fucking kid under the age of 21 needs to have like automatic latency put into his game so he can't react faster than I can whenever I go to shoot him in Warzone. I think that's totally fucking fair. Because, listen, it's a biological advantage. I can't do anything about it. And it's not fucking fair whenever these kids come in and kick my ass. I'm tired of it. And you know what? It's biologically fucking stated. There are studies that test this. And so to make things more fair, I think we should lag out every fucking 15-year-old's Fortnite account so he can't build a fucking hotel in 15 seconds while I'm building a ramp. That's it. Okay? And the thing is, like most of the people in here are probably like over the age of, like, I don't know, 23, right? A lot of you guys. So most of y'all are like, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Yeah, fuck them, huh? Fuck them kids. Stupid ass fucking kid trying to do all that bullshit. So like y'all are like, if I'd take a vote on this, y'all would be like, yeah, sounds good. But obviously it's not the right thing to do. So there are so many advantages that people have going into something. Also, like being smarter, having better memory, having better resources, having a better computer. That's huge. Imagine how much of an advantage it is. Look at Classic WoW. Classic WoW is a great example of this. Is that the way that people played Classic WoW, or Vanilla WoW, back in 2006, and the way that they play it now. And the access to resources in terms of just pure computer. Like, you have better FPS. And your better FPS allows you to make plays that you can't play at fucking 20 FPS. How many times have you guys back in the day who played on one of those fucking CRT monitors that weighed 40 pounds, played on that shitty fucking monitor that was going so slow and you couldn't move out of things or react fast enough because your computer was fucking garbage? Like, that happened to me so much. So the fact is that whenever you have that kind of stuff, you have so many things that muddy the waters, and it's actually not a great equalizer. And the reason why it's not a great equalizer is because nothing is an equalizer, because people aren't equal. Everybody looks different. Everybody's a different height. People are taller, they're shorter, they're smarter, or stupider. There are a million differences between people, and there's no way that you can ever have true equality in terms of the way that people, what people's capabilities are. It's just impossible. It's impossible. But that does not mean, and this is the thing with gaming, that does not mean that it is not a worthy pursuit to go after. It is not a worthy pursuit to pursue equality. It is not a worthy pursuit to try to go for it, even though you know it'll never happen.